In the beginning, there was only desert. David Ben-Gurion saw what others could not. A future born in the sand. He believed that the future of Israel would emerge from the Negev. Ben-Gurion's vision inspired a dream. That dream became a university. And that university became a promise. A promise to build, to innovate, and to lead. Today, Ben-Gurion University is the heartbeat of the Negev, an engine of growth, resilience, and hope. The future of the Negev depends on BGU, a future built on 4 pillars: education, research, Negev development, community service. 3 campuses, 1 mission. Beersheba, Stable Care, Eilat. On an unimaginable day, our campuses, community, and country were changed forever. October 7th, 2023. Everything changed. In a moment, our lives were shattered. The attack shook our communities, our classrooms. Our hearts were broken. 1 in 10 lives lost on October 7th belong to the BGU community. BGU suffered directly and disproportionately. As a result of the recent Iranian missile strike, 30 BGU buildings suffered extensive damage, and several labs had years of groundbreaking research wiped out. And yet, we stood unified and strong. This is not just recovery. This is resilience. This is leadership. From the heart of the desert, Ben-Gurion University is leading the way forward. In the Negev, across Israel, and around the world. The past gave us vision. The present demands courage. The future is ours to build. BGU is a beacon of light. Rally with us around the best of Israel. Ben-Gurion University of the Negev. Past, present, future. Now more than ever, your support is needed. Together as partners in the remarkable, we can continue to lead the way forward.
Welcome to Startup Stories from Yazamut 360. I am David Breslauer, Chair of the A4BGU Innovation and Entrepreneurship Group. Today we have the pleasure of hearing from Donna Gavish, founder of the Yazamut 360 Entrepreneurship Center and VP for Entrepreneurship at BGN Technologies, and from the community's program manager, Shefa Treistman. I got involved with Yazamut 360 a little over 2 years ago. The more I learned about the Yazamut program, the more I was impressed with the life skills of the program. I believe the skills learned in Yazamut can be incorporated into all classrooms to better prepare BGU students to be successful in their jobs, their families, and their lives. Yazamut is an innovative resource to engage BGU students, other universities, and businesses to prepare with and promote BGU. I could talk to you about Yazamut for our entire session, but you're here to hear from the person who created it and one of the students leading the community's group. So let me introduce the founder of Yazamut, Donna Gavish. Before we get started, let me ask you to please put your questions in the Q&A and not in the chat. Thank you. Donna, can you tell us how you got involved with BGU and founded Yazamut?
Wow, David, first of all, hello. Thank you for everyone who's joined us. Thank you to the A4BGU for putting this event together. I'm very excited because I know we have many things on with us on Zoom, and I'm excited to be here, tell you about Yazamut 360, the Entrepreneurship Center of BGU. Yazamut is the Hebrew word for entrepreneurship. We chose it as the name for our center to really name what we do. And my name is Dana Gavish. I came to BGU 8.5 years ago, almost 9 years ago, to start a new, I would call it layer of learning at BGU and really centralize everything around entrepreneurship because the university management decided that this kind of extra layer is needed for different audiences and the staff, the researchers, the students, everybody needs these kind of entrepreneurial skills. So I came to BGU. I realized I'm at a very special place. I saw the Negev blooming with a high-tech park at Beersheba and a university and a hospital and public transportation and army units all moving and literally staying at the same place within like a square kilometer. Everything is happening. And I realized that the vision of David Ben-Gurion is something that I'd like to be a part of. So it's been quite a ride and never looked back. It is just a joy every year to be at BGU and literally help this kind of Zionism and the vision behind it to make it happen and help grow Israel's next pioneers and entrepreneurs within the campus.
That's awesome. So, what made the center stand out and be unique in the academic environment?
Um, I think from the very beginning, I'd like to say I have great partners, and I'm partnered with Professor Carmel Sofer, who's the chair of the center, and I have great partners in building the whole center with me. And from the very beginning, when we even wrote the strategic programs and strategizing around entrepreneurship at BGU, it was clear to us that we have to have a great story to tell and something that really stands behind it, which is being very unique. We're in the desert, we're there in the sands. If we sounded like every other entrepreneurship center or just talked about entrepreneurship and startups all day, I'm not sure we'd be very unique. So it was clear to us that we needed a different vision at BGU. And to create that kind of vision, we needed a different, unique definition to the word entrepreneurship. What does it mean to create an entrepreneurship or entrepreneurial learning level at the academy? So we've decided to put the people and the students and the university staff in the center. And when you have people in the center, what we define entrepreneurship is their skills. Because we're in the academy, we could choose to create this kind of learning layer, learning by doing, all through experience, and create an entrepreneurial experience for all, for different audiences. When they go through that kind of practical experience on top of their academic studies, together with their research abilities that are polished at the university, then you kind of have a holistic approach to what a graduate should look like. And our graduates today at BGU, later on, they know that they have the skills to enter the work world and the outer world when they graduate and simply become better alums. So the idea is we put the people in the center, we teach them through an experiential, a kind of experience of learning by doing, And they go through this zigzag experience that is called entrepreneurship in a very safe environment while they study, during their academic studies, in this beautiful hub behind me, which was, of course, a gift by a wonderful family of our donors. And the whole idea is that through this learning experience in a very safe environment, the students and staff of BGU, and sometimes residents of the Negev that join us, have a very unique experience. I think we're also special in the way that we treat the researchers and accommodate the deep technologies that are developed at the labs. So on top of all that, together with BGN Technologies, that is the technology transfer of the company of the university, we have worked out another acceleration program specifically for researchers to start their own endeavors and to start up companies. So we've been doing that also for the past 6 years and seeing great results. Together with funding from the Ministry of Science, we now have quite a lot of university-based deep tech companies that are emerging.
Well, now that you've taken away most of my questions, let me ask you, you've mentioned some of the people who are participating in Yazamut. Are there any other groups, and can you tell us how that's impacted the BGU campus?
Sure. So the different groups, as I said, are compiled from researchers, university staff. We have specific programs for them as well. And of course, the students and sometimes residents of the Negev that choose to join, and that are some of the programs are open to them. I came to the university 8.5 years ago. Fast forward today, what we have at the center is actually 9 different entrepreneurship programs. Of them, about 6 are flagship programs that are really, really of high demand from the students and from the staff. We see them wanting to come. I think the one thing that is very unique about us is the fact that almost none of the activity is credited. So what we say to the people of BGU is, if you'd like to have that kind of experience, you need to choose it. You need to choose it every day. And if you come through the door, you take responsibility on your education. So it is very different from the academics studies that are credited. And the people who join choose to do that every day and work really hard on their endeavors. Today, I'm happy to say that we have almost 5,000 students. That's about a fourth of the student body coming every year to the center. And the one thing that we see them coming for is our student communities. We see them initiating different communities around entrepreneurship in fields that are of interest to them. And we love seeing those new initiatives grow, because that means that they initiate clubs and communities around fields of interest together with entrepreneurship. And this is what we chose to focus on today's webinar.
It absolutely sounds amazing. The things you have accomplished are great, but we all know that the last year has really been difficult for Israel, and particularly the Negev and BGU. Were there any special or unique events at Yazamut in the last year that stand out to you?
Sure. It hasn't been easy. I do want to say that we continued teaching from the minute the university opened, right after October 7th. We continued teaching, and the students continued to come. Many of them did hundreds and hundreds of days of Army Reserve and Miluim, and we really appreciated the fact that they chose to enter the center. I can mention one of the projects, which was a result. We have a student-led fund called Cactus Capital, and the Cactus Capital team, who are leading the fund, did hundreds of Army Reserve days. And from there sprung the idea to create a special Cactus Academy, an analyst course that teaches students how to become investors and take that course and copy it for the Army Reserves. And we did it in Tel Aviv. We invited um, um, Army Reserve people from all over Israel to attend. And we had, I think, 2 hours of registration. And just like that, we had about 200 people trying to come to our course. Eventually, about 100 of them went through the course, and it was a great success. So this is one story that I can say. Obviously, there are so many others, but it's a great thing that happened only last August.
Thank you, Donna. What you are doing is amazing. What you have accomplished is incredible. Um, but I'd like to move on and introduce Shefa Treistman, if I may, a 26-year-old BGU student in her last year of studies and currently leading the Yazamut community programs. Good evening, Shefa. Can you please tell us how you came to be involved with Yazamut communities and the community that you created?
Hi, David. Good evening. So my name is Shefa, and I started my studies 3 years ago. And already on my first year, I started right after the 7th of October the following year. And like Dana said, we lived and we are still living, but we lived. I started my studies next to living with the war that was happening. So, but anyway, while I started my studies, I understood that that there's something needed more in my experience of Be'er Sheva of BGU. I study right now. I'm in my last year of management and finance, and I understood that for getting a good job and going ahead in life, I should do something more. Like Dana said, another layer of studying. And I'm proud to be one of the examples that the Yazamut Center developed. I'll call it that way. So I started off on my first year in a community called ICYMI. It's a community that its purpose is to impart financial wisdom in female students. There are 20 different communities, and when I looked around of the communities, I understood that that's my niche. That's where I feel like I fit in as an individual, as a person. So I decided to lead the community. It was exactly a part where the other leaders left. So there was a place that I could have come in. And what we did, me with two other friends of mine, we built a course where we learned ourselves and we allowed other students to learn about financial parts, all sorts of financial parts, to feel more independent. That was the goal, for women to feel empowered and to feel that they are able through finance, which in my perspective is a very important field. So that's where I started. That was my first year. My second year, I continued in ICYMI. And side by side with that, I started to being the operating manager of the whole community program. Like I said, there's 20 communities today, which is amazing. It's a very large impact on all the students of Be'er Sheva. And it's also, we could also do it because Be'er Sheva, one of its unique parts is that students are very social. We live together. We do everything together. We do Saturday nights together. So that's one of the things that really helps us connect, by also studying outside of the academia, but still together in niches and in fields that really interest us. So I was also the management operator for the 20 communities. I helped them manage if they needed classrooms in the university, or manage the money they have to be able to do all their activities. And also I was in ICYMI at the same time. That was my second year. Now I'm on my third year and my last year in my studies.
And when do you find time for those studies?
When do I?
No, seriously,
Exactly.
let's stay here. What skills have you developed at Yazamut that you think will help you in the future?
I was just gonna answer your question with that question. Where do I find times for my studies? I really do feel like Dana said that it's for me it's a must with my studies. I study management and finance, so being a manager in Yazamut Center, wherever I feel like I could grow myself, I bring into all sorts of skills the studies that I study in the academia. So, on my spare time, I also study my studies. But for example, I have this year strategic class, and I am working in the community program strategic program for it's planned for the next year. So I really do bring stuff that I learn in class into the Yazamut Center, and I can't see it without one another, my studies.
All right. Can you walk us through a few of the communities and what actually happens to the students along the way, say from the moment that they join to where they end up?
Yes, absolutely. So the community program, unlike different program, you start from diving in. You just come and you say, I want to lead a community because this is what interests me. And on the way, you meet all the hardships that it comes with. So you start with just passion. That's the beginning. It's students who start with passion for a certain field. And the skills that they meet on the way, and the first hardships they meet on the way is, first of all, people skills. And people skills, as we all know, means a lot of different things. It's learning real life and real business as well. How do you make people understand your point? How do you market? How do you work with a team? How do you make people understand what you're doing, what you're trying to deliver, and what you're trying to give and make a real impact? So those are the first thing that the students meet with, because you can't do it on your own. It's a very strong lesson that they learn. You can't, it's amazing to want something like that, but then you need to understand that you need to have your people with you. So that's one of the first things. Another main milestone that they meet on the way is funding. They understand that they need to persuade, like I said, marketing before their communities, and they go out and they try to fund, and they learn from each other, because there are 20 communities, skills like that, which is also very unique and special about the communities, that they learn one from each other. Communities come to us, come to the Yazamut Center. So there are communities that are much older and communities that started just now, and the leaders, they learn from each other, all these skills.
Um, Let me ask you the same last question, if I may. I know that I didn't give this to you originally, but are there any things that happened in the last year that stand out to you through Yazamut that have impacted you or the communities?
Meaning through just an example, or through the war, or
Just anything that stands out that Yazamut
and
was a support to you over the last year or to the communities, the people of BGU, of Beersheba, anything that stands out as special to you?
So I'll give an example of one of our communities that I think it's an outstanding example. Two students came to the Yazamut Center, and they thought of this idea of teaching other students AI tools, and then connecting them with different businesses, small businesses out throughout the Negev, and with the goal to help these businesses to grow and be better in AI, because as we all understand, that's the next level, and we all need to know about that. So that was a very interesting idea, and they went big with it. And I think they really used the Yazamut Center as an amazing platform, and we were very proud to be with their past, and we still are. They're still one of their communities. They raised money, and they're now starting their second year of their program with their new students, and they're only in their second year. They're already opening courses throughout um, four different academic centers and places in the country, which is really amazing. They took something they're passionate about, and they went all the way, and they're all the time in contact with us, and they use us, and we're very proud of them, and it's an amazing thing that they're still doing.
It sounds like you are leading them to amazing things And all I can say is thank you for all that you do for Yazamut, for communities, for BGU, for Beersheba, and for Israel.
Thank you.
Uh, Donna, I'm sorry. You have created something amazing. Do you have any last words for us? You, you're muted. There, yeah.
Of course I do. I have many words for you. The one thing I want to say is that in essence, we do feel that we're changing the students' prospects and, if you wish, lives, because I think that in today's world, if you go to the academy and not add this kind of essential learning experience or layer, you're not making the best of your studies at BGU. And you hear Shefa talking like she is running 4,000 people operations, which she is. And she's a student. She's been with us for 3 years, and now she can talk to hundreds of people about this kind of endeavor, which is all grassroots and all about initiatives by students. It is just a joy to see how when you give them a platform and you give them a safe place for their initiatives, they grow and they come in and they take responsibility. That means that eventually at BGU, they get a great opportunity to manage and to learn management in a different scale, and also to go through all the hardships that it means. When they graduate, they have a great story to tell for job interviews, looking for better job opportunities. We see our alumni organizations grow, and because we've been around for a few years, our top programs have wonderful alumni organizations. We keep in touch with our students, with our graduates. We know where they are, and we see them aim for much higher job opportunities they would probably try to enter if they were simply graduating without entrepreneurial experience. It's wonderful to see and to continue to be in touch with them. So today for our flagship programs, each of them has its own alumni organization, and we're just starting now a new alumni organization for communities. And this is where we really count the thousands of people. So at BGU today, to summarize, students can join anything between very high level A-team experiences of entrepreneurial learning to a one-time inspirational talk. They can choose how much they wish to enter and to be exposed to the entrepreneurial world. But eventually, this is something that is almost a must. And it's just great to see how many students actually choose to come.
Excellent. Excellent. Shefa, would you mind coming back? We have some time for some questions. First from Lawrence Rubenstein, he asks, can you give some examples of entrepreneurship programs, companies, or other entities that you are discussing, I guess in discussion with?
Like partnerships with the other communities.
Yes.
So it really depends on the field. I'll give a little examples for the different fields that we have, which shows that the variety is very large. We have biomedics, so they talk to companies who are doing with medicine, and we have so this community that I was talking about, Biz AI. So they have with them helping them Ogen, which is a very large company, which is domain and its main thing, what they do is to help small businesses in Israel. They're the biggest company who does that. It's the main space in Israel who does that. So that's on the other hand. We have food tech. So they talk to companies that do food tech. It's a very large scale of it's not all with me. It's mainly with the students who run the communities.
Donna,
That's right. I'd like
I'll
to add that maybe I'll add that indeed the communities create a lot of collaboration for food tech that Chef has just mentioned. They're in touch with the largest food companies in Israel, such as Strauss or Tnuva. If you know those big manufacturers, food manufacturers that are always looking for new technologies. So it's great to have their speakers and their top CEOs come to our center and host them here because the students invite them and they come over because they see huge value in that.
Donna, I'd like to ask you the same question, though, that Chef had just answered, because there is so much going on that goes just beyond BGU in what you guys are doing that I think it's important that people know. So, could you share with us some of the relationships and how you participate in sharing of the entrepreneurship programs and with companies and other entities?
Absolutely. So around BGU, so many things are happening. One of the biggest things is obviously the tech units of the army that are moving into the Negev. Some of them are on the ground. The communications units, all the cyber units, they're already there. This year, we started teaching a special course, a special leadership program for the officers of the communications units. It was the first time, it was a great success, and they loved it. So they see huge value in connecting to the university and also offering this kind of education to their officers. Next year, we'll be teaching officers from the intelligence units as well. So this kind of collab, which is new because they are coming to the Negev and they need to give value to their new officers that are now housed and going to be living in the Negev, and going to the high-tech park is something that we do a lot. Also, the high-tech park of Beersheba is something which is of great interest to us because we would like to see our graduates go and start up their companies there and also work at the biggest, these are the biggest companies in the world, such as Dell and IBM and Weeks and Microsoft, NVIDIA. All of them have different offices and R&D centers at the ATP, the Advanced Technology Park of the university. So we'd like to see our students work there and our graduates go to work there. There's a lot of collaboration with them as well. So through the programs and through joint collaborations, we make it a point to make sure that they have internships, that they actually walk the bridge, because there's a bridge to the park, to the high-tech park, and see the other side, which can create job opportunities for them.
Um, how about with the other universities, participating in with other universities and their entrepreneurship programs, and what differentiates the BGU program from them?
Um, Definitely important. I can say that for our leadership program, which is called Leaders, we've had for the past 3 or 4 years collaboration with Brown University in Rhode Island, where some of their students in a special, I think it's a graduate program there. For us, there are undergrads in Israel, graduates in Brown, collaborate and go on Zoom together to pitch their ideas to each other and kind of form red team discussions, and also a lot of networking between those programs. So this is just a wonderful collaboration that we've been having for a few years. And over the past year, we've had a great collaboration, which is just entering year 2 now, with UConn. So the University of Connecticut has created this kind of forum of universities from all over the Middle East and North Africa, and together with some American universities and, of course, Connecticut themselves, we have been teaching a special course for students to collaborate, join forces with other students in Morocco, at the UAE, in Jordan, and in even other countries that are around us. This was a very surprising collaboration that was basically formed during a year of war, and everyone was engaged to make it happen because we just want our students to collaborate. So this was something that we loved seeing and is going to year 2 now, which is fantastic.
That is awesome. A big thanks to Donna and Shefa for their time today and all that they do at Yazamut and BGU. I'd like to thank everyone for joining us today for today's webinar. I hope that this has given those of you who are here the desire to learn more about Yazamut and the value it adds to the university, to the students, and to the community. Ben-Gurion University is the beating heart of the Negev, where education, research, and community are leading the way forward. Please consider joining us in raising $1 billion by 2030 and transform the Negev. Remember, the Board of Governors is May 10th to the 14th at BGU and is open to everyone. If you can come, I urge you to attend. It will be one of the most amazing experiences you can have. If you have any questions, additional questions about the program or how you can get involved, please contact Eve, Donna, or me. Now I'd like to turn it over to Liz. I think.
Thank you so much, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. Shefa, Donna, David, appreciate you guys. Thanks, everyone, for joining us from all over our communities. I appreciate it. Thanks for the time. Bye-bye.